I do like to get some things out of the way real quick, though. I just want to let you guys know that I am not a cool guy. I have a real hard time convincing people I'm not a youth pastor. Comes up a lot in the Springs, you'd be surprised. I got this haircut. I really wanted to look like Superman. You didn't have to laugh at that. That's the problem with wanting to look like Superman is that the rest of you also has to look like Superman. I just kind of look more like Superman if Clark Kent just stuck to journalism, you know, just stayed behind the desk, wrote a lot of reviews about restaurants around town. I want to let you know that I'm not as Republican as I look. One person is disappointed, the rest of you deeply relieved. I used to be a lot more conservative, but I just used a bidet for the first time recently, and that'll knock it right out of you. I'll tell you what, that'll shoot it right at you. You have no idea. I never used a bidet before. I didn't know. I'm at my in-laws' house. I sit down on that thing. I crank it up to 100. I still have a concussion from when my head hit the ceiling. Do you understand? I shot off that thing like a rocket. I was like, whoa. 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 I thought maybe love is love, you know? Maybe let them do what they want. I gotta call my dad. Tell him he was right about a lot of stuff. Yeah, despite that, I do want to let you know that I'm married to a human woman. Thank you. Usually that gets a standing ovation, I'll be honest with you. People are surprised. But my wife's the best. She's incredible. She's really helped me mature in a lot of ways. She's really helped me grow, become an adult. And not in these big sweeping chances, just in small little everyday corrections. She's really helped me become an adult man. I remember when we first got together, she had to sit down and have a very serious conversation with me. My wife sat me down and she had to explain something to me. And I want to let you know that as she's explaining this to me, I'm going, that's not true, you're crazy, you're over-exaggerating. And I looked it up after the fact, turns out she's 100% correct. But my wife had to explain to me, okay, did you guys know that you are supposed to wash your sheets? Did you know that? I didn't know we were supposed to be doing that. No one explained that part to me. That's a joke. I don't want you guys to think I'm gross, all right? I'm joking. I obviously didn't own sheets before my wife moved in. That would be crazy. Who am I trying to impress? No, my wife, she's the only girlfriend I've ever had. We've been together since high school. And I am starting to feel pretty bad for her, if I'm being honest with you. So we've been together for such a long time, and I've changed so much. The man I am now is not the boy she fell in love with, and I think I slow catfished my wife, if that makes sense. When we first met, I was on the wrestling team, I was on the football team. So I was sprinting, I was lifting weights, I was doing crazy stuff like drinking water. When my wife first laid eyes on me, okay, I had a body like an action figure, all right? But I just turned 30. Now I just have a body like an adult man who plays with action figures. I'm kidding. I would never play with action figures. They lose all value as soon as you take them out of the box. So those are for looking, not touching. No, but I've gained some weight. I mean that's just time, you know. But I've been feeling it a lot more lately. The other day, my wife was putting my daughter down to sleep, and I could hear from the other room. My daughter's talking to my wife, and she goes, "Mommy, I love you so much." I could hug you for miles and miles. I'm like, that's the sweetest thing I've ever heard. I want a piece of that. So I go to give my daughter a hug. She says, "You'll never catch me, fat boy," and then she ran away from me. And that's what hit me like, oh, I would die for this little girl. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. I love her so much. No, my wife's the best. She's Polynesian. She's a Polynesian lady, which does not mean she can go on dates with other people. Because I'm a kind of a sheltered guy. I didn't realize there were all these polyamorous couples running around out there. So I didn't know that for years when I was telling people, my wife is poly. It turns out I was sending some mixed messages out there. It wasn't until after a show when like a throuple came up to me and they're like, "Hey, we're poly." And I was like, "You guys don't look Samoan at all. That's crazy." Okay, the problem with that joke is Colorado Springs either doesn't know what polyamory is or they've never seen a Polynesian person before. So it never really goes the way that I'm hoping it will. It's more of a Denver joke, I suppose. I love having kids. Like my wife, we have a 5-year-old and a 5-month-old. And I felt like it was much harder going from no kids to one kid than going from one kids to two kids. Like going from no kids to one kid. Like my wife and I, we were together for 5 years before we had the kid, right? So we were two young adults. We got to do whatever we wanted, whenever we wanted to. No one could tell us what to do. Then she gives birth to my daughter. It's like, now I can't even watch a movie anymore before, like, okay, here she comes crying again, and it's like, okay, what is it this time, sweetheart? You know, are you tired again? Are you hungry again? Did you poop yourself again, right? And then you still have to check on the baby? Childbirth changes a woman. I don't know what to tell you guys, but it's been a long road to recovery. But I'm nervous. I'm a nervous dad. I'm a very anxious father. Like, we didn't name my daughter until she came out. Because I wanted to make sure she had a name that she looked like. Does that make sense? You guys heard this before? I remember the first time someone said it to me, it like traumatized me, and I've thought about it ever since. First time someone said it to me, it's a couple years ago. I was introducing myself to a gentleman. I said, "Hello, my name is Russell." And he said, "No." I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know that was an option. To deny? He said, "No, you don't look like a Russell to me. You look more like a Dennis." I didn't really get what that meant at the time. I didn't understand. It wasn't until a couple of years later, I was doing a show, and I met a gal after the fact, and she introduced herself to me, and she said, "Hello, my name's Gorgeous." And I said, "No." You look more like a Dennis now that I'm thinking about it. But I'm a nervous dad. Like, I think about having daughters. Like, I'm so worried about them growing up. Like, nothing about them that makes me nervous. It's just they're girls, and they're going to grow up to be women, and my God, everything women have to deal with in today's day and age. Like, last time I took my daughter to a restaurant, she needed to use the potty, so I take her to the ladies' room, okay? Take her to the ladies' room. Because normally I go to the men's room at this restaurant, and in the men's room, there's a little poem. It's a little limerick. It's above every single toilet in the men's room. You guys have probably seen it before. And the little poem goes, "If you sprinkle, when you tinkle, be a sweetie and wipe the seedy," right? It's above every single toilet in the men's room. But I take my daughter to the ladies' room. I'd never been in there before. Fellas, the poem that the women have above every single toilet in the ladies' room, it went, "If you're worried. That, you're being sex trafficked. Call 1-888-378-3777. And that's when it hit me like, oh my God, ladies, that doesn't rhyme at all. That sucks. It's the worst poem I've ever heard. All right, that's been my time. Are you guys ready to get this show on the road?